Hey everybody, and welcome to the Shadow Artist Experiment. I'm your host, Josh Bell, and with me is the lovely Gabby. Gabby, we're doing it long distance this time.
We are, because you're having a day, you say.
Oh my, I am having a day, and not in a bad way, everybody. I am just on point with everything. I believe I got up at like 8:30 this morning, which is roughly the time I generally get up, and I got up. I took the dog out. I went and did my morning pages. Then I started. What did I do? And then I wrote the email that I sent out for how we begin. And then, I did a card reading. I wrote the email. Then I sent out the email. Then I made sure I posted something on Instagram. I was working on energetic grids and stuff like that. I got my writing done that I want to do every day. And yeah, so it's like I've been boom, 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 even before this. So I game once a week. So I do, it's not Dungeons and Dragons, it's comic book, it's superhero related, but I do basically like a tabletop role playing game every week with my old roommate, Mark. And even then, I sent him a message and we were messaging back and forth. He walked the dog with me. So I'm doing double duty as I'm walking and talking about this game so that I can get all that in order. Yeah. So after this, I'm going to put in 2.5 hours on another job that I have. Cause it's all of my personal stuff and all of my personal work I have to shove into my 2 days off. So it's oh my God. And the idea of taking the 45 minutes that it takes to go into the city and the 45 minutes it takes to get out of the city is a lot of time that I can put towards something else on a day like today when I'm raring to go,
And the weather changed, although it's really nice out now, but it is definitely colder for your
Oh my gosh. Yeah. And I mean, I feel like it's okay when we're walking the dog, but the idea of sitting out front of your apartment doing this is oh my God, we're going to be free. Yeah, exactly.
Get one of those fire things that the restaurants have for.
Oh my gosh.
We'll have a little Josh and Gabby glow.
Oh my God, I would love that. I wonder how much those go for on Amazon. They're probably $25 for the cheap one that'll probably burn down your entire apartment building. Do you know what I mean? So what about you, Gabby? What have you been up to this week?
Oh my gosh. So I'm looking at my dog. My dog's sick. My dog has heartworms, and that's heartbreaking. So that's been a big part of our week. Getting her squared away. She's going to have to do treatments. And my daughter is heartbroken over it. She's been crying and crying and crying. And I love this dog so much. I gotta say, this it's remarkable. Like you talked about Appa, Kelly's our world. And we'll do our check-ins, I guess, in a minute. I'll check in early and say, so not on it this week. I had a really, really bad cold. I feel like we always have to say that now. Whether it's
not COVID.
I sent you
not COVID, allergies. Yeah.
My negative lollipop. It's good to be negative when it's good. Everybody says be positive, but this was a good negative for me. So that was and I just got wiped out from it. It was so funny. I went to a hockey game with a friend. Never been to a hockey game before in my life.
Was that a New Jersey Devils game?
And I had a little tickle in my nose.
Which you kind of expect though. You kind of expect that at a hockey game though, because it's cold. I know. In a hockey game.
It's cold. The air. We got whatever the schwanky VIP seating is, where they feed you and give you alcohol and all that kind of good stuff. So we had VIP seats, so it wasn't so cold, but yeah. And it's a hockey game, so I get a little tickle in my nose, and as we're leaving, I sneeze 3 times. We go to the car, get in the car. By the time we got from Newark to Jersey City, I was full on sick in the car.
Oh, really?
I was like, oh my God, I was mad at myself for going out. One, don't go out when you're sick. but two, spreading germs. I didn't know if it was at that point, if it was COVID or not, if,
Yeah. But you also didn't know. It's not like, right?
I know, but that's the world we live in now. Like, you hint of something, you're supposed to stay home.
Yeah,
Right.
it's true.
Right.
It's true.
I don't know,
Yeah.
especially for like something fun like a hockey game. Like, the right choice is to stay home, but I didn't know. Like you said, I'm not
Yeah,
going
you didn't know.
to
So
blame myself for not knowing. I just didn't know. And honestly, even the 3 sneezes at the elevator door, I was like, oh my gosh, what is tickling my throat? I felt like it was something in the air.
Yeah.
Not, I don't know. Anyway, so that was my
Yeah.
week. It's just been, so I did not get all my morning pages done. I at least 3 days I was just slammed on the couch. It was so weird. The cold started on the right hand side. So it was my right nostril. That was where I was sneezing and the nose was running from. My right ear, my right eye was just dripping. Like I was tearing, right eye tearing, right head hurt, and back here, like the spine hurt. And it was only on the right side. And it was like 2 days of just straight, and like somebody clocked me on my right side. And then
I'm like, it's so disgusting the way you're just describing this. I'm like, oh my God, I've been there and I hate it so much.
Yeah, and then the right side felt better. Everything with the ear, my ear's still wonky on the right.
Yeah.
Hearing so great. Still plugged. It shifted to the left, and then the same thing happened on the left. I'm like, okay, at least it's shifting. So it was 4 days of just hit. And then I didn't do my morning pages. I got back into the swing of it the last 2 days, but I listed at least 2 days.
Yeah. I just to be on the same page as you, I did 6 out of 7 days, because there was one day that I was just like, nope. I don't remember what day it was, but it was definitely like, nope, I'm not going to do this. Oh, I remember. Okay, so it was Saturday, because what happened is I got home and I decided that I wasn't like, I can do it later. And then I like laid down and I was like, there's no later. I'm not doing this. Like, this is not happening today. And then like I woke up after like sleeping for 3 hours and I was like, I could do my morning pages. And I was like, no, I'm just going to lay here and read my book. So it was not happening. The universe, I said no, but it was a very conscious effort. It's funny because I can tell you that it was a very conscious effort not to do them. Like, they were constantly in my head to like, you should be doing this. You should be doing this. You should do this. Get it out of the way. But I missed the one day. I missed that Saturday. Otherwise, like, I did the rest of them. I feel like most of this week was just bitching, though, like bitching about something or bitching about something else. Like, it was just bitching all week. Morning bitchings is what they've been.
I felt really called to do them today for exactly that, because I wanted to. Kelly saw the vet yesterday, so we got all this news yesterday, and I've been sick, and my cycle is yet again off, which makes me super anemic and tired, and so I need to bitch about life. At the same time, though, I've been really listening to Michael Singer. I feel like he has the keys to the universe. Despite everything, being sick and wonky and the dog and everything, I just feel like my mental outlook is lighter and brighter because I'm listening to Michael Singer.
Yeah, I love that. I love that so much. Well, Michael has been talking a lot about with me a lot about having like a devotional practice, and like even listening to something like that really inspires you and really uplifts you. That's a devotional practice, or at least it's starting one. I like doing my morning pages. I like the physical, like, I can write this out and then I'm going to put it away and never see it again. Done. And I love that. But I'm trying to get into meditation, and I'm so against. There's something so like I'm so against meditation for some odd reason. I don't know why. Like, I don't know if it's the idea of having the practice or what, but there is something so hard for me to do it. I did it for 3 days, and then I was like, I'm going to keep doing it, and then I just stopped. And now I have to do it for like 40 days or 30 days for my Kundalini yoga course. And I haven't started it yet because I have to do like these 3 different yogas or these 3 different meditations that take about 20 minutes, like back to back every day for 30 days. And I don't want to commit to that. And I don't know why. Yeah. So that's where I'm at with, that's what comes to me on that, is this idea of like, you're creating a devotional practice, and the morning pages are a part of it, but I feel like it's everything in conjunction with each other that's really helping you out.
Yeah.
And keeping that outlook. Yeah.
I know. I've been trying to do meditation twice a day. It's not, I haven't gotten it into habit or routine yet.
Yeah.
I'm getting morning and evening meditation in. Better at the mornings than I am at the evenings, gotta say.
Yeah, I feel you. So
yes,
let's get into the text. So we are on week 2, discovering a sense of proportion. So this was interesting. I feel like so I reread this chapter last night, and then I'm, as you know, I'm like moving forward where I'm at later in the book. So I read chapter 4 as well. So it's like I read 2 and 4. That's where I'm at. I'm 2 and 4. And so I read both of them last night. And what's so interesting is that I love how to describe it. I feel like she deconstructs a lot of things in this when it comes to identity. Like, she starts with all of those blocks and those negative thoughts that we have about ourselves. Like, I remember people always telling me, like, you know who you are, like, you're the only person who does know who you are. But there's a lot of, like, as an artist and as a creative, there's so much that I don't know. And I feel like, honestly, going back to the not meditating, it's like, I feel like there's a lot of that scares me to know. So, like, because there's all that unknown that comes with that. Do you know what I mean? Like, the idea of spending 30 days meditating for 20 minutes. Oh my God, what am I going to unlock? And what kinds of shit am I going to have to deal with? And that scares me, because I don't, like, as much as I feel like, I'm in a good place 90% of the time, like, if I could be in a good place 95% of the time, that'd be awesome, which I feel like meditation would help. But, like, I'm safe with that 10% of, like, not being in a great place. It feels safe.
It's interesting that you bring it up, because it's a lot of the work that I've been doing in addition to, but I love Julia Cranman, how she takes it step by step, and she lets you know what's going to happen before it happens. Like,
yeah.
She's like, oh, by the way, this is probably going to come up for you. And in terms of Artist's Way, when we did it, and now yet again, in terms of proportion, she's saying, don't leap off the cliff. Take baby steps, little bit. Don't go jumping. Don't.
Yeah.
So you're thinking of where you might end up, which hasn't happened yet. I mean, this is not reality. You might end up, if you meditate twice a day. Where might what might you unlock? That's not in reality. It has nothing to do with the present moment. But
that's true.
Yeah. And so she's saying, she's so gentle about saying, go back to moment, go back to where you are right now. And I think the morning pages, that is a meditation practice that you have been in and for well over a year.
Oh yeah.
And it made a daily practice. So you've already taken those steps. You're already starting to fly. You just didn't even know it. And Julia guided you into it, held your hand. But the thing about anything in life, when we're afraid, with meditation, with mindset, your mind is another muscle. It's just another, you can tell your muscles to relax and release. Like, I do that with my meditation practice. It's the first step is taking the body and asking the breath with the exhale, asking the breath to release your muscles, muscle by muscle, step by step, looking for the blockages and the tight spots inside the body. And we do that with yoga as well. When we're in the pose, relax and release into the pose. Every inhale lengthens, and every exhale, you're able to release and relax into it a little deeper, a little further. That's why it's so important for multiple breaths. But any practice, it like piano, playing the scales. Yeah, we're like, if I looked at, I have a piano in my room that I never play. My daughter plays piano, but if I looked at the piano and said I wanted to play Beethoven immediately, would I be able to do it? No, you have to do the damn scales.
Yeah.
So like you tell your body to relax and release. You have to tell your mind to relax and release. So it's the little things. So it is the weather. The weather is a great one. You can't control the weather. So being judgmental and in a snit about the weather, all you're doing is being toxic and poisonous to yourself. The weather gives you a daily practice of mindset of how you can relax and release of something, or even change it, like reframe that. So
or move.
And then when the big comes up, when Beethoven, and it will, because when you stop getting so bent out of shape about the little things, a lot of people use driving. Like you can't control that driver in front of you. And I do it all the time when I'm driving. I'm like, oh my freaking God, what the heck? You know what drives me crazy in Jersey City is when they come, like you're stopped and you're at a light and somebody comes around the side of you to make a big old turn all the way on a red light. Like, that's you're breaking the law. and so you can continue on your way. And oh my God, on the scooter, if you think that I was like that driving, I've been hit when somebody actually hits your body because you're on a scooter as opposed to your car. Do you know how much more of an impact that makes on your mindset? I've been hit a couple of times, and then it's always the same thing. People just don't see you in that bike lane, and they're always turning. And the rigmarole in my head of what, and I can carry that all the way to wherever I'm scooting to, or I can let that driver's shit be that driver's shit, choose to go about my day, get back into the moment, and stop letting it. So it's life is giving you these little things.
Yeah.
All day, every day to practice your scales on is all I'm saying. And then then the bigger stuff will come up because you created the space for it, and you'll be able to handle it because you've been doing the work. You've been doing all that great practice.
I feel that. Honestly, I feel like I'm sidelining the conversation because so when you're running a podcast, like this is just for everybody out there, because it's funny because my mind is like, oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I really get what you're saying. I really do get what you're saying, Gabby. I'm not like I love it. I really do. I really love what you're saying. And then I look down at the book and I'm like, oh, this has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but it's so good. It's so meaty.
That's where you are this week.
Yeah, it is where I am this week.
Like if I meditate twice a day, if I take that practice on, what's going to come up for me?
I'll have the practice.
She talks about the self-limiting, disempowering beliefs that will come up for you.
Yeah. And I feel like
self-limiting belief.
Yeah, I feel like this. It's really interesting, like having done The Artist's Way and then moving through this, because I feel like we fluctuate back and forth between the two books in a weird way. Do you know what I mean? Because like in the first book, she's discussing like these self-limiting beliefs that we're talking about now, because that's where I'm at this week. But in this book, she actually is moving into the idea that it's okay to change, not those self-limiting beliefs, but as an artist, you're allowed to have these multiple hats, because we have that self-limiting belief of, I can only do this one thing, or there's a right way to do this one thing. And that's amazing, because it's talking about finding the people in your life that will lift up that other thing. And yeah, so you have like,
So yeah, in chapter 2 of The Artist's Way, she talks about your crazy makers. That's the big. And so again, she talks about other people this time around. Not as crazy. I love crazy makers. Like, guys, if you do The Artist's Way, if you only make it to chapter 2 and only do crazy makers, it's such a gift. Like, I
remember how eye-opening it was for you.
It was so eye-opening. I was like, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I've been doing. And crazy making was a way of hiding out from me. That was my way. I would get so into other people's lives. God, I had 2 sets of twins to get into other people's lives. I wasn't living my own. So in this one, she talks about, oh my gosh, that was very loud in my ears. In this one, she talks about that, be mindful of the company you keep. So there are people that will speak to your old self, and there are people that will speak to your new self. And it's not that we kick out the old friends. It's just see the lens, know the lens that they're viewing you through. So a lot of people in the world that see me I've had a lot of different hats in my life. There are a lot of people in the world that saw me only as mom, because I had 2 sets of twins and I was soccer mom, total soccer mom. That was it. And then when I went back to work, all of Jersey City only knew me for swim instructor Gabby. And so, and when COVID hit and I got my yoga teacher certification and came back, and I had taken a long time off from any teaching, reestablishing myself credibility wise as an instructor again, and as a yoga instructor and all of that, as not a participant, but as the instructor took. And so you have to, what she talks about is aligning with yourself with people that see that part of you that you are in this moment fostering.
But there, I'm not just.
I know that the other ones are going to try to pull it back into the box. That
I feel like, and it's not that they're, it's not the same as a crazy maker, because I feel like, I know you were bringing you were bringing up the parallel, like just parallel the books, but it's really interesting because it's the same. It's like, the difference is the way that she's describing it is she's describing it as almost a protection mechanism, that your friends are trying to protect you from failure, is what it comes down to. Like, they don't want you, like, they don't see that part of you because they see the success in the other thing you're doing. It's funny because later when we get to chapter 4,
like something very kill you. So the better you are in one area, the more people are going to say, don't give that up.
Yeah, exactly. And what Julie, I think the entire point of this is like, I'm not giving it up. There's no subtraction here. There's merely addition. Which I think is so important. I remember, so I actually have a story about this, and this is so when I was in college, I started out as a theater major because I love to act. I love to be other people. I love to go on stage. I love to be the center of attention. I still love to be the center of attention. But when I was in college, I wasn't great at acting. I remember that I was in the kitchen, the small kitchen of this house that we had, that 4 people, like 5 of us had rented. And my friend Carrie told me that I should stick to writing because I was better at it than acting. And needless to say, like a year and a half later, I completely like gave it up. Like I switched my majors, I think the next semester. and then ended up acting at the community theater for like two or three plays. And I was like, I'm done. Like, I don't need to do this anymore.
I think that's
and I,
so.
yeah,
You're hitting such a poignant thing in that not only did you listen to somebody else and not trust your own stuff, but that we let go of something because of, oh, you can be better at something else.
yeah.
You act, what you started off saying is, I really loved acting.
Yeah.
You can act because you love acting. You don't, that's the thing about, and especially at where we are in the book right now, again, is accept being the novice, accept that you're good at something and that you don't have to be. Maybe you can just do it because you enjoy doing it.
Yeah, and I feel like that plays right into what you were saying before about the meditation as well. See, the meditation tangent becomes important. So yeah, it's yeah, I feel like that really like sets it up. It's like, okay, be the novice and take the time to do it. You know what it is? It's more along the lines of, I feel like as we talk about this, it's exactly what she says. It's like, okay, I open up, well, I think it's what she said in the last chapter 1, where like, okay, I'm not sitting down and writing for today. I'm sitting down and writing a novel. Do you know what I mean? And like, when I have like all of these meditations listed, it's like, okay, I'm not sitting down to meditate today. I'm sitting down for 30 days. You know what I mean? And it's like, I feel all of that time of the 30 days that I have to put in when really it's only like 20 minutes. Granted, it may mean setting my alarm and getting up in the morning, but it's only 20 minutes. Yeah. So yeah, that was beautiful, Gabby. Beautiful.
Your mind is another muscle.
Yeah.
You know, one of the other things I heard about is, you know, people will challenge themselves. We've talked about it before, to run a marathon or to climb a mountain, you know, do all the peaks or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Physically will challenge yourselves. Well, you're mentally challenging yourself. The mind's just another muscle. And you don't get stronger if you don't work out.
Yeah. I feel you. Well, and it's also what I
practice. It's just going to make that mind. My goal is with everything that we're doing is to be happier. Some amount to end suffering and to be happy. And no, I can't end suffering. That's the human process. I get that. We're all
but
there's going to be some suffering. But my goal in life is to not be toxic to myself anymore.
Yeah. And that's beautiful, Gabby. That's beautiful. Take a second, breathe that in. Yeah.
Toxic.
So,
or to you.
Yeah.
I really don't want to be toxic to the other people in my life either.
or to you, Josh. Specifically, I want to stop being toxic to you. That's what it came off as.
That's how it all correlates. That's again with what you were speaking to about how others see you. You know, and if you have toxic in life, if you had like I was what were we calling it? Like emu Gabby or dark Gabby? In my mind, I was dark Gabby for
Darth Gabby
a period of time. And there are people in my life that want to keep me there.
I already said it.
My mother would love to keep me dark Gabby for the rest of my life.
And I don't think she's doing it purposely.
No, she just wants to be me.
And you know, it's really funny because I was feeling the same. Like, I love my mother very dearly, but like, it's funny that growing up, I always thought like I had placed her in this place of pure understanding. And then as I get older, I'm like, she does not understand certain aspects and I cannot explain it to her. Like it's so, and when I came upon that realization, it's the same thing. It's like, I can either let her be a crazy maker in my life, or she can just be my mom, who's another person in my life that I care about deeply, you know? Like, and I do, I'll like, we'll still have our moments where she will be like, it's kind of comes to, well, we'll agree to disagree. And it's like, well, you're talking about my rights. So no, we're not going to agree to disagree, but still there.
Well, I kind of like breathing, so I'm going to.
Yeah, I love you. So I'm going to just take it off there. But
yeah, but so, again, especially with parents, to your point before, they want to keep you in a box to keep you safe. They're keeping you safe. When I step on the skinny branches to do anything new, it terrifies my mother. And she does all these things, job interviews, everything. Well, don't get your hopes up. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, all that stuff to prepare me for the hazards, because that's what moms do. We fear for our kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel that. But on the same note, like just moving along in the book as we go along, but this actually flows right into it, which I love. I love when we do that, when like it flows right into where we're going. So she has two more chapter titles as she goes along, which is larger or get larger. No. Oh, becoming larger, and then transformation. And then those two are so interesting because as we're talking about like going out onto those little branches, like we're taking those daily steps. That's when we start growing. And it's not necessarily growing in terms of like, well, we're expanding. We're definitely expanding. And from that expansion is where you find yourself transformed. And I love that. I love how it all flows together. And like what we've been talking about, it's like, okay, yes, in 30 days, I will have some sort of transformation that happens because of meditation. But I still have to go through that one day to start growing into that transformation before I even start. And honestly, taking the steps to do it are part of that transformation.
It's a different Julia, but begin at the very beginning. You start.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
So,
Sound of music.
Oh,
Julie, not Julia. Sorry, Julie Andrews.
Oh, there is one more. There is one more chapter. It's do not insist on being linear and don't panic about panic. And I think that's what, oh my God, that's a good way to end it, is don't panic about panic. Is that's what we're doing. Like when we're afraid, we're panicking about an idea that, like you said to begin with, is not really there. Like we're panicking. Right. Yeah. And so we're panicking about potentially panicking.
Us back. And honestly, I don't know how to stop fear. I do know that you can choose to come from love. You can, like they say, that there are two real emotions in this world. The fear on the fear end is hate and insecurity and anxiety and stress and overwhelm, tension. That's all fear side of it. And then there's love, which releases all the oxy and the dopamine and your anandamide bliss factor and happiness, happy. Yeah. And it's very interesting about fear. Fear comes, like, I think it's gonna, especially when you step out on the skinny branches, whenever we're animals, we're programmed to be triggered because that's our survival instincts. We're programmed for fight, flight, freeze, or pander. We're programmed for it. That it's going to happen. There's no way. The process of dealing with the programming isn't so much not making the fear happen. It's choosing to step back into love. Choosing to come from or to at least relax and release the fear, to let it go, to not stay in the hamster wheel of
I don't know. I feel like this is a discussion like that has done like, and I'm not going to discuss it with you, but it's just like, but I think we could discuss this. I would really love to discuss how I follow what you're saying and I get it, but I don't think you have me on it yet. Because I don't think, so what I've always like, what I feel like Julia has been teaching me and what I've learned is it's not like all of those emotions from anger and hatred and envy and jealousy and fear, all of those are part of the human experience to me. Like And I agree that like giving into them is like, yeah, no, you don't want to give into them. But what I feel like Julia
Well, you also don't
teaches
want to
is,
push it down. I'm not saying don't feel your emotions. I'm just saying that
yeah.
behind those emotions, there is yourself.
Oh,
Yourself,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
the hamster wheel. It is not the negative
Oh, yeah. Okay, okay, okay.
or
That
the
makes more sense. That
emotions.
makes more sense.
Yourself
Then,
behind there
yeah,
can make a decision, can make a choice to do something healthier for you. Do something
yeah.
sick.
Yes, yes, yes. That makes sense. That I understand.
The
Because like
observer
I've always,
of consciousness, not the
yeah,
this.
yeah, yeah. Okay,
Observer
okay.
of
That
consciousness.
now we're on the same page. I'm
Power
there with you.
of what intention.
I always think of, so when you, every time I hear fear and like you shouldn't feel fear, or
I
you
don't
shouldn't
think
give
you
in to
should
fear.
feel fear.
Well,
I think it's
well,
impossible not to feel fear, honestly.
well,
Maybe the
this is
greats did transcend fear.
no.
I think that's transcend fear, but do we ever do that?
No, we do. We put on our Green Lantern ring and overcome fear. That's what fear is there for. It's something like it's to keep you safe and something to move. Like, it's to keep you safe is what fear is there for. The thing is that like,
So my on a Brene Brown tact, you're supposed to get it down to 2, but I have 3. You're boil down your core values, and my 3 core values are love, integrity, and courage. And courage is not courage of just dun, 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 I am a hero. Courage
yeah,
to me is what you do in the face of the fear.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
And
yeah,
holding on to your integrity in the face of fear. So that again is the intentionality. Can I hold my integrity and then come back to love in the face of the fear?
yeah. I feel like Gabby. I like. I understand why you have integrity on there, but I also think like that if you needed to boil down to 2, courage and love,
Courage,
integrity can find.
I'm good.
Yeah, courage. Well, because I think courage. It's funny how we go off on these tangents. I love it. By the way, I feel like courage. Like when it comes to integrity, it's the courage to be yourself. Like, so it really does factor into courage. I like that it's separated as well. So it's maybe love, courage, and then you have like a little dot, and it goes over one, and it's integrity. So you have like 2.5.
Maybe integrity and courage are really intertwined. Maybe that they are the
Yeah.
same.
Yeah, because I mean, even like integrity in the face of to do what you need to do versus what you're afraid to do. Like even then, like integrity is courage, like being yourself. That's wonderful. So we are now on to.
Is word related too. It's going back to the 4 agreements. We do all these great books together,
I
and
know.
always being your word, the integrity of my word, the strength of my word.
Yeah, and that's having courage also to like really believe in something.
That is, yeah, they really are intertwined. Maybe it's love and courage. Maybe you finally got me.
You did it! You did it! It took you how many years to get there?
It's been 2 years of working.
Yeah. Oh, it's so funny you mentioned. It's so funny she mentioned Don Miguel Ruiz and the 4 Agreements, because I've been reading a lot lately. Like I've been getting back into reading. Like I think I actually started it as one of my artist dates. It was like, I'm going to sit down and read for an hour. And I did. And then I haven't stopped. I'm like 9 books in now. So I just finished the Looking Glass Wars trilogy. And now I was like, oh, maybe I should get a nonfiction book, like a nonfiction series in there. So I'm going to start doing nonfiction books.
Group book. We just finished The Choice. Whoa, that was dark.
Yeah, you mentioned it. You mentioned it last week. Oh, it ended darkly? It ended darkly?
No, she ended very poignantly. She went through a lot. I like talk about, and again, it points back to the power of choice, the power of consciousness behind the thinking. What I don't understand is why we glom on to the negative more than the positive. Why do we Why do we do that? Why is that almost instinctual to us? I get the mind is a
Because
muscle, we have to work that muscle. So I'm working the muscles so that I won't do that anymore. But why did I do it in the first place?
well, it's because it comes back to the idea that there is it's the animal part of us. The animal part of us, like even in the spiritual community, when we're talking about like
they're doing by trying to keep us in the box is survival.
Yeah, it's a survival thing. Is why fear comes up first. Because it's also like, remember, like as a child, like those are like the two major emotions that you have. You have fear and love when you're growing up, because you have fear of the world outside parent, and then you have the love that the parent is giving you. So it's all exploring as well.
So I heard a really interesting thing in regards to love, and I'm not sure that I can actually articulate it well. I'm going to try to do it justice now.
And then we got to do the final check-ins. So final thought.
Just love.
Just love. Oh no, I was gonna let you explain it and articulate it.
Oh, that my final thought. Okay, that love can be the biggest trick or opener. When you put your love all over there on somebody else, which is what I've done in my life, it becomes a cage.
Yeah.
And when you are open to choosing to come from love, that experience for yourself, and it's not all over there on somebody else any longer, but over here on you, love is the great miracle.
Yeah. I could have swore you were going to say trick or treat, and it would have just like factored into Halloween, and it would have been so nice.
It is Ray Bradbury time. I love you, Ray Bradbury.
Yeah. So we already did the check-in for the morning pages. Did you do an artist date?
My artist date was really just taking care of my sick body this time around. You know what? I went to a hockey game. Did I plan and I did, what did I say I was doing? I went to House of Yes.
Yes.
I got sick.
Yeah, it's true. That's true. Did that just come to you that's how you got sick?
I went to House of Yes and I danced my ass off for like 3 hours straight. I stayed on the dance floor. I just danced with myself.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I wore a very provocative dress, and I had a lot of women that wanted to dance with me.
Which is probably why you're sick.
Might be why I'm sick.
Women, they give you the germs.
But I had an amazing artist date. How was yours?
So I yesterday woke up at 8:30. I took the dog out with Michael. I got dressed and I went into the city. And I said I was going to spend an hour. I think I spent an hour and 10 minutes walking from the World Trade Center up Broadway all the way to Washington Square Park. And taking pictures along the way. And granted, like all of my pictures are mostly like, oh, this is a really cute building. Oh my God, a cute building. Oh, cute flowers. But yeah, I had such a good time. And I was like, I texted Michael during it. And I was like, oh my God, we need to do this once a week. It's just go into the city, walk around for like an hour, get coffee as we're walking and walk with our coffee. It was so much fun. It was just like, it was nice to like see the different buildings. And like, I walked through Tribeca, through Soho, up to Greenwich Village. It was just like, I suddenly understand
for that too.
Yeah.
We talked about the winter and all, and fall is just like the leaves are turning, everything is colored, and you have Halloween vibes in the air. And
oh my God, yeah.
City goes all in for Halloween, and then it turns around by November, and we're in full like
Christmas,
it's dazzle, glitter, and rainbows, Christmas mode.
Yeah, I want to go. I do want to go to Rockefeller Center this year and take a picture with Michael in the tree, and then go do things like that and just be cute. I want to take Appa to Santa with the dog. Okay, that's yeah. I'm already at Christmas time.
Fun. How many artist dates?
So yeah, so what is your artist date for next week?
I have not planned it as yet. I don't know.
What is my artist date? So I did gargoyles last week for one, and then I did this week was the walking around the city. I don't know. There is yeah, I don't want to go to work. I don't know. Well, no, because there's a boozy book fair that they're doing at my job. So they're teaming up with the local bookstore, Word. And then they're
friend dating on Sunday. That might count as an artist date.
I don't think it does, unless your friend is an artist.
I don't think you're counted as a date either. I'm doing friends dating.
Yeah, it doesn't count as a date if it's friends. Yeah. You're getting close. You're getting close to that halfway mark. Ellie also does not count as a date.
All right. How are you doing with your yoga?
So I've been, what's really kind of what's luckily been fitting is I have the Chakras and Shadows event that I do, that I've been doing. So I've been recording all of the yoga for that, which has people who are watching it. So can I guarantee they've seen it yet? No, but I do have 4 people and 2 more people coming on board, but it's all pre-recorded. So like after probably tomorrow, I'm going to have to not use that as my sly way in to getting that complete.
Step a little further out on those branches.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to step a little further out. But honestly, if I pick up this meditation practice, that counts because meditation is yoga. Yeah, you hear that, everybody? Meditation is yoga.
Yoga is life.
Yoga is life. Yoga is breath. So, though to be fair, I did do breath work. I've been doing for the Bow Academy that I'm a part of. We've been doing the Wim Hof method of breath work, which is also yoga. So
wow, yeah, I like Wim Hof.
Oh my god, it's cool. I did it yesterday, and oh my god, and even on the call, she's like, Josh, you look like you're having an experience. I have trouble breathing like through my nose, right? And we've discussed this before. So like when I do the circular connective breaths in my mouth, it's like, whoa, I'm breathing for the first time, and then like I hold it and like I go right to woo.
Yeah, a lot of people, when I did that whole breath workshop, we're having like the woo experience. For me, I didn't like all the physical and mental stuff. I did get a lot of emotional release from it.
Yeah, I feel like it's different for everybody. And I mean, if you do it again, you might have less of the emotional release.
I think I've done so much breath work that I probably just wasn't getting like most of the room. It was our first time with breath work.
Oh, at all? How long are you guys doing the breath work for?
An hour.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah. I wonder. Okay, so the walking is the last one. Yes, I did the walking because I did it during my 20 minutes walking. I'm going to count it during my artist date because it was an hour of walking. However, I was on my phone, which is what we talked about, because I was taking pictures, but it was still an hour of walking versus the 20 minutes that we're supposed to do. And I was paying attention to my surroundings and got there's a couple of really cool pictures that I took.
I think photography and using your phone in that respect, let's call that photography and not like on your phone. I think that's completely different. That's a creative outlet and completely different than being on your phone.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So yeah, outside of a couple texts from Michael, I was just using it for photography. And then a map at the end because I actually went and saw the Hangman's Tree at Washington Square Park. It's the oldest tree in New York City. Spooky, actually. It was weird. Like I say, it was a weird experience because like I was specifically looking for this tree, and I didn't know what an elm tree looked like. So I came upon the corner that it's supposed to be at, that like it says that you have to like walk around to get to it, like out on the outside of the park, right? It's like it's one of those trees. So I'm walking over to it and I'm like, oh, I see a tree that I think it is, but I see this other really big tree and I'm like, oh my God. So I took a picture of it and then I walk around and I like, that doesn't look right. So I looked it up online and I looked at a picture and I was like, oh my God, I already took a picture of this tree. So it was so weird. And then like when you connected with it, like from an energetic way, I was like, like right here, it was like, and I was talking to Michael with it. He's like, well, that's how activations happen. Like you're literally activating a part of it. It's activating a part of your energy. And like, that's how you're feeling it. You're feeling it like right here. And I was like, yeah, I felt it. So yeah, I love that. I love that so much. I want to do, maybe that's what I'll do for my next artist date. It'll be a long walk in Central Park with my husband.
Lovely.
Yeah, I know. Not supposed to do an artist date with somebody, but the entire point is to walk in the park.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Walk in the park.
I'm going to have a good time. I'm going to get like, I feel like I'm going to walk.
I'm going to have a good time. Power of intention. I'm going to have a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
intention, baby.
Oh, here's a good one. Were there any other issues this week that felt significant to you in your self-discovery?
Sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's not much discovery going on when you just don't feel good. I guess I did a lot of discovery that limited discovery later on in the week. Let's just put it that way. I was all out there. I've been going to every festival, every event in Jersey City, networking event.
Yeah.
Anytime anybody says, hey, I got this thing to go to, I'm like, yep, I'm there, handing out cards and doing my thing.
Mm-hmm.
And
I love it.
Saying yes to everything, literally everything. Even House of Yes, I had my business cards packed in my pocket the whole night. Didn't get any out, but I did.
Yeah. At the end of the night, you should just like on the dance floor. And then got kicked out.
On the dance floor. It was packed.
Yeah. Okay. So Gabby, where can people find you?
They can find me on my Instagram. I've been actually putting stuff up on Instagram. Wow. I'm in with all the kids now. And
the cool kids are on TikTok.
No,
I said the cool.
That's the cooler kids. I'm not that cool. My kids will disown me on TikTok. I'm sure of it.
I'm sure they would. So what's your handle on Instagram?
For a minute. That's not TikTok.
Yeah, no, that's Vine. That Vine thing. That's under 6 seconds. Vine was 6 seconds. I skipped the Vine generation.
Okay.
So
Instagram, Facebook, Gabby Creery. Both of them are Gabby Creery.
Okay.
BBY.
And they can email you at gabbycreerywellness@gmail.com.
Yep.
I know that one. And you can find me at joshua.t.bell on Instagram or Joshua Bell on Facebook, or you can do our business, which is at How We Begin on Instagram. So thank you all again. Thank you, Gabby, for joining this and with me. And I'm Josh Bell. I'm your host with Gabby. We'll see you next week.